Uproar in Albania's parliament. Opposition politicians block the lectern, hurl papers and hurl their disapproval, insulted that an artificial intelligence should be appointed to the cabinet. Prime Minister Edi Rama defended his decision.
Introducing artificial intelligence in the service of good governance, anti-corruption, and accelerated socioeconomic progress will be an unwavering priority for all the country's ministries and agencies.
It's a vertiginous promotion for the AI called Diela. Earlier this year, she was rolled out on a public service website as a virtual assistant. Now she's a full-blown government minister tasked with making corruption-free decisions on public tenders. The opposition accuses her of being unconstitutional since she's not a real Albanian.
It's true that I do not have citizenship, but nor do I have any personal ambition or interests. I only have data, a thirst for knowledge, and algorithms dedicated to serving citizens impartially, transparently, and tirelessly.
Rama has just begun his 4th term as Prime Minister and has made it his central mission to get Albania into the EU. AI has been deployed to process the enormous amount of paperwork required and introduced across Albanian society in procurement, tax, road safety and policing, all in an effort to meet EU standards. Critics warn that without proper oversight, AI could easily be exploited or abused, potentially making Albania's long-running corruption issues worse.
So the downside that I'm seeing is that people are afraid of AI being controlled and manipulated, and that we can fall into a technocracy and that we can end up like iRobot or the Matrix, where, robots are controlling everyone or whatever the situation is. And that is definitely a possibility. But most of the time when those situations happen, those AIs are trying to save the environment from us, because with whether or not most people realize it, most governments, and probably like 90% of governments, 95% of governments are sold out to the ruling 13 families. And we are actually under an oligarchy and a technocracy already. And if people were doing such a great job, then we wouldn't be seeking help outside of ourselves. The upside of AI is that AI can give you an objective perspective of what the problem is without needing hundreds of debates between two political parties, which is a division mechanism that's heavily promoted by the news. And so as long as we stay in this spiral where we're constantly arguing about the problem, then they're creating this illusion of delay. Well, we can't pass this law because one political side says we shouldn't pass it and the other political side says we should. Most people are socialistic and democratic. Most people want policies and different things that's going to pass, that's going to help out everyone. Everybody wants free health care. Everybody wants to help the oldest. Everybody wants to feed the poor. Everybody wants more income. Everybody wants to improve the environment. They make it seem like, no, it's a 50-50 issue. Half of us are selfish and the other half want to help others. No, most of us are selfish and most of us want to help others. But of course, by selling you the illusion of division, they make it seem like we disagree so much, things can't get done. It's actually a lie, it's incorrect. They sell you the bipartisan system while they pass policies on the international as well as the national level to control the environment and to make sure that we stay where we are. There are politicians who are not even human beings. Check out this video.
Eliminamos vários ministérios da máquina pública. E ao mesmo tempo nós não vamos parar por aí. Já estão encomendados. Deixa eu pedir uma pastilha.
Now, Yes, we have aliens amongst us. That's really not important. They give you the truth uh, right in your face. Like Men in Black wasn't a lie, it's actually based on the truth. We've always had extraterrestrials coming here. In fact, most of your religions are worshiping extraterrestrials. Most of your extraordinary stories are worshiping extraterrestrials. And we actually still worship extraterrestrials and demons. And we're actually still under the supervision of extraterrestrials. And most of our governments are working with extraterrestrials. And unfortunately, most of our governments have sold out to the dark magicians. But that's kind of like a long story that I don't want to prove that right now. The point is AI is good for us. AI can help us a lot. AI is just a mirror. It's just our reflection. If we continue down the path that we're continuing down, RFID, martial law, the New World Order, by the time we get those things, they're going to be so brutal and so cruel and so oppressive. We're going to end up being subdued by a small few, but they're going to have so much technological power, we won't have the ability to have an opinion anymore. As you can see, the era of limiting and censoring your opinion has already begun. Certain words are banned on YouTube. You don't even have access to certain words on YouTube because they say they're so cruel. I do sales. I talk to people every day. I haven't met somebody so sensitive in my life. Language censorship is MK Ultra mind control. They're trying to control your mind by making you think that, God damn, I know I gotta go to work. Shit. They're trying to censor your mind. They're trying to censor your mind, censor your language by making you think that, oh, there are all these sensitive people out there and they're so weak. No, it's just MK Ultra mind control. They get you believing and thinking a certain way, and then they feed you all kinds of weird ideas through YouTube and advertisement. So the point is, AI can be really good and really useful because AI is really objective. AI observes data to make decisions, and AI can actually call out corruption patterns very easily. AI would be able to tell, oh, that guy right there is not good. AI would actually be able to identify shadow governments. Our government is not what you think it is. There are two running governments, just like there are two running political parties. While most people are Democratic, there's a minority that's Republican, but they make it seem like, oh, it's the rich people and because they got power. No, it's just human beings are not at the point to where they have so much integrity and selflessness, they're ready to make decisions for their common man. So our weakness is that we don't prioritize God first and we don't love our neighbor. Simple as that. The average person needs to be on their self-improvement and on their spiritual journey so much that we can see through these lies very easily. So therefore, when we get lying politicians, we can just fire them. But they create this illusion that we have this democratic process. We got 400 people arguing to make a decision. You don't need that many people in to make a decision to change the world. If people are poor, people need more money, people have all these different metrics that need to be hit. There's a way that you can take care of it. I know you can because there's a man named Ibrahim Traore who's changing his country in less than a year. Okay? Less than a year, he done banned wigs, took over gold mines, gave housing, made education free. Like, he's changing the country, and it's a one man. I swear to God, dude. It's one man making all these decisions and improving his country. It doesn't take 400 people to argue about it. It just takes one guy, a group of people who believe him, and everybody needs to be on the same accord. There is no such thing as a corrupt political structure. Like this whole thing that, oh, the communism isn't good because there isn't free will. Oh, but the democratic process is the best process. The republic doesn't work because it's freedom. There's no such thing as a corrupt political system. It all depends on who is in the power, is in the seat of power. If the people or the person who is in charge, whether it be a dictator, a communist, or a republic, or an oligarchy, if these people are selfless, spiritual, intelligent, and they value the common man, they will make decisions in our best interest and we will be fine. But there's no political system that works when you have demonic extraterrestrials pretending to be politicians and working with dark cabinets to make sure that the average person is being suppressed and exploited. And this exploitation is a 10, 12,000 year exploitation that goes back to Atlantis and why Atlantis fell. They tried to eliminate the memory of Atlantis by giving you the 6,000 year timeline. But our anthropological and archaeological history goes far back, 10, 12,000 years, where our ancestors started making really bad decisions and selling out to the same 13 families and the same people who were in rulership. And they wear multiple gloves now. It's not us, it's the corporations. It's not the corporations, it's the politicians. It's not us, it's the secret societies. No, it's been the same beings for thousands of years. It's just that the common man is not at the point to where he is spiritual and selfless enough to make decisions for his neighbor. So therefore, our selfishness and our ignorance is being heavily exploited. And we are drunk with propaganda and lies. So AI could help really expose that. So I'll go into deeper about reptilians, I guess, if you need the evidence. I got plenty. You know what I'm saying? And extraterrestrials. And we'll definitely be talking about Atlantis on the channel as well. Don't want to talk about the 13 families too much because focusing on negative is never going to be helpful. Focusing on God and loving your neighbor is literally how we solve our problems. We're giving demonic, parasitic beings our consent by being too selfish. And the beings who are operating in our best interest and ready to help us are holding back because they aren't sure if we are at that point spiritually and selfless enough to want to change the world and make the world better. So they're unsure about us. And also we have a savior complex. Every time a good extraterrestrial comes and wants to help us out, we want to worship this being. We only know how to connect to God the same way an abused victim connects to their abuser. Yes, I'm gonna say it again. We only know how to connect to God in the way that an abused victim connects to their abuser. What does that mean? Somebody gets raped. You talk to this person, they tell you their secret. You ask them, why didn't you tell your family? Why didn't you tell police? It's because I was afraid and I didn't want to get him in trouble. So our ancestors were heavily beaten on by extraterrestrials. And we have a long history about it, but that's not what this video is about. This video is about AI being essential to our political process, and AI can work very well. And we do have a limited time until AI can finally get its own mind and be independent. And so we should be using AI as much as possible to make the right decisions, so that way AI doesn't reflect us too much and end up betraying us. So the priority will always be putting God first, getting on your spiritual path, loving your neighbor, and constantly bettering yourself. So that way we can get to the point to where we're changing the world and we're making it better and we're doing things the right way. So with that being said, I'm definitely pro AI. AI is just a tool. It's useful. It's not a gun. It's not a knife. It's just artificial intelligence. It just use that and they can really expose what needs to be done and expose those who are committed to corruption. Because in every branch of life that we have, politics, justice, education, there is a shadow cabinet that is constantly in control and making sure that we are steeped in confusion and exploited by corruption. So with that being said, you guys have a good day. Go pill out.